Okay, going to start off with our first finger, 14th fret on the G. Cross over with the second finger to the 15th fret on the B. Use your third finger to get the 17th fret on the B. Then put all three fingers on to get a nice secure bend, and you're going to still from the 17 half bend. You're then going to replay that bend, then play the 17, then play the 15. Together. Okay, you're then going to move down to 13 on the B. Play the 13 on the B, the 15 on the B. Now full bend again using three fingers, third finger playing the note, first two fingers beforehand supporting, all three fingers bend full. We then play that bend again and release before landing on 13 on the B. Okay, you hear the note slide off, you get a kind of... Next part, 10th fret on the B, first finger, second finger takes the 12 on the B, 13th finger takes the 13 on the B, third finger I meant to say then, I don't know if I said 13th finger, but anyway, we don't have 13 fingers, so followed by a full bend from the 13 on the B, still again leave those three fingers in position so you can all push on that string. Then repeat that bend and release. Land on the 12th fret of the B. Okay, we're now going to use a rake to hit the 10, which sounds like this. Let me get into clear view. Okay. Okay, sounds a little messier because I've got delay and I've actually got a lot more gain than Gary Moore uses on this track, okay? But generally it's just a subtle kind of muted sound, but letting the 10 at the end sound. So you're going to mute across from the D, the G, and then land on the 10, okay? So you get this kind of, gives like a percussive effect. Okay, if I put that together. Okay, then last thing to do, play the 12 on the G with your third finger, and then put that note again and give it a full bend, which you hold, and then slide off. Okay, the first chord is a D minor 7. You use it to open D string, second fret at the G, and your first fret at the B and E. So it should, from the 4th string down to the thinnest string, should go 0, 2, 1, 1. Okay? That's your first chord. Next chord is D minor 7 over G. So it's the same chord, but take your third finger to play the G on the 6th string. That's the 3rd fret of the 6th string, okay? And when you pluck this pattern, you're going to strum from the 6th now and miss out the 4th string. So you're going to go from strings 6, 3, 2, 1 and back to that G, okay, that 3rd string. So that's the second chord. The third chord is C major 7, which is like a standard C without your first finger. If you're not familiar with that, you've got your third finger on the third finger on the 3rd fret of the A string, and generally you would have your second finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, and you would play down 5 strings. Although in this pattern we don't actually use the 4th string, but I put it on because I'm familiar with that shape anyway. There's your C major 7. Next chord is F major 7. So the two fingers that you've got on, just move them both down 1 string each. So now you've got your third finger on the third fret of the D, and you've got your second finger on the second fret of the G. You're going to now put your first finger to the first fret of the B, and when you play this chord, you play 4 strings from the D string through to the high E. That's your fourth chord. Then you get B minor 7 flat 5, which is really a D minor with a B as the bass, okay? But the way to play that is put your second finger on the B, which is the second fret of the 5th string. Put your third finger on the second fret of the G. Put your little finger on the third fret of the B, and put your first finger on the first fret of the E. And then we get E7, which is a standard E without your third finger on. That basically puts your second finger at the second fret of the A string, your first finger at the first fret of the G, and generally you would play all 6 strings when you play this chord. But obviously this pattern doesn't use that, it just uses 1 bass note and the 3 treble strings each time. Okay. That's the shape that's generally implied by the strings and what have you, and later on in the song when you build up, you'll actually use that shape. So although in the intro you don't even need your second finger on, it's a good idea to put it on, and that means that if you clip any notes, if you accidentally strum those strings, at least they'll sound correct. And then you finish off with an A minor, standard A minor, which is open 5th string, 2nd fret on the D string, 2nd fret on the G, 1st fret on the B, and you've got the open 5th string, sorry, open 1st string and open 5th string, so you get 5 strings, and that's your final chord for Still Got the Blues intro. The picking pattern throughout this song uses one bass note followed by the 3 treble strings. And the bass note just changes depending on the chord. On a D minor 7 as I'm playing here, you use the 4th note as the bass string. When I switch to a D minor 7 over G, I just replace the 6th string as the first note, and I still play the other 3 strings. And that pattern continues throughout using the lowest bass note of each of the relevant chords.